office, Sunny FM in town, Sunny everywhere. So sunny, Sunny FM at home, in the office, Sunny FM in town, you know, Sunny everywhere. Come on, everybody say, la la la, la 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 la, la la la. Sunny everywhere. Sing it again, say.
Get ready to embark on a literary journey like never before. Tune in to the Writer's Blog Talk Show, a book review show that airs on radio, Sunny 88.7 FM, every Saturday at 1 p.m. and on TV. Immerse yourself in a world of literature as we dissect, discuss, and delight in the latest and greatest books across genres. From gripping mysteries to heartwarming tales, we've got your reading list covered. Join us every week as we unravel the pages of captivating novels, explore the minds of brilliant authors, and share insights that will leave you craving your next literary adventure. Whether you're a seasoned bookworm or just diving into the world of stories, the Writer's Blog is the perfect companion for your reading escapades, for children and grown-ups too. Let's make reading a joy for every age. As we celebrate our 5th year this year, we promise you amazing content on radio and TV. Contact the Writer's Blog Talk Show today. 0552 535 036 0552 535 036 or email writersbloggh@gmail.com. Visit our website www.thewritersbloggh.com. On social media, Facebook, Instagram, X or YouTube, The Writer's Blog Talk Show or at Writer's Blog GH. The Writer's Blog. Read, write, indulge your mind. This program is powered by Reveal Multimedia Limited.
Hello, my name is Barbara Benedicta Mills Graves, author, counselor, and convener of Rap Gift Series. I am excited to be part of this year's All Boys, All Girls, and Parents Symposium. It is happening at the La Palm Royal Beach Hotel on the 1st May for children between the ages of 5 and 16 years and parents. Together with other facilitators, we'll be sharing on personal development, emotional intelligence, self-esteem, resilience, and other tropical themes. 1st May is a holiday. Come, let's bond and have fun. I will be sharing from my new book, Sexual Predators and Child Grooming. Mummies and daddies, stick and stay with us as we discuss parentification and modern day parenting. I'm so happy and I'm looking forward to 1st May meeting all of you. God bless you. See you.
The Writer's Blog presents the All Boys, All Girls and Parenting Symposium 2024. Each year, we carefully select well-equipped resource persons who empower attendees with tools to support healthy development, promote gender equality, and enhance parenting skills. Topical issues for discussion this year include parental development, emotional intelligence, social skills, gender-specific issues, and modern-day parenting. Theme: Empowered Minds, Empowered Futures. Date: Wednesday, 1st May 2024. It's a holiday. The time is 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Venue: La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. Age range starts from 5 to 16 years, and the rate is 150 Ghana cedis for children and 100 Ghana cedis for adults. Family packages are available. There will be lunch and other fun bonding activities. To register, call, text, or WhatsApp this number: 0552 535 036. This event is powered by Reveal Multimedia Limited, La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Challenge Enterprises of Ghana, and our media partner is Sunny 88.7 FM.
Hello, I am author Ralph, and I listen to the Writer's Blog Talk Show every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. on Sunny 88.7 FM with Vicky Amwa. I want to recommend your listenership to this great program. It's inspiring, it's empowering, and it's uplifting. The Writer's Blog. Read, write, indulge your mind.
My name is Mama Kathy of Family Renaissance International and Echoes of Hope broadcasts. I love listening to the Writers Blog Talk Show with Vicky Amwa every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. on Sunny 88.7 FM. The content of knowledge in you determines how far you go in life. This is a good place to be every Saturday 1 to 2 p.m. The Writers Blog, read, write, indulge your mind.
Blog. The Writer's Blog. Out of the ashes, a golden phoenix rises, eavesdropping on the wax of destined writers, glittering their fine etchings with keen scouters. Far above the lush rainforest of talk shows, a majestic mountain catches the clouds and dons the jaunty cap of excellent creatives, poised with sheer talent and grit, like a Vicky Amwa behind the Writer's Blog Show. Born to appreciate, I arise in the womb of this great day, with the warm, thought-provoking, heart-refreshing, life-giving rhythms of the appreciator, sounding this good news to re-echo during the meditations of the heart and the watches of the night while men sleep. Folks, I have come to resound this great news that, hey, the Writer's Blog Show is here.
That's right. Good afternoon to you and welcome to the Writer's Blog Talk Show right here on your favorite Christian radio station, Sunny 88.7. I'm so excited today because I have one of the people I admire so much being on the show to speak and discuss from her book, Marriage is Not a Trap. Now, this program has been designed to celebrate authors and their works. We are also hoping to, as it were, promote other stakeholders within the publishing industry. If you have written a book or you are in the literary space and you're looking for a platform to promote it, please reach out to us on +233 552 036 0552 535 036. If you are married, this book is awesome. It will give you a different perspective. If you are yet to marry, it's a good ground to plan and prepare, because we have our guest author of this awesome book, Modupe Ehuin, with us. After this break, we'll get speaking to her and dive right into the book. I am Vicky Amwa. Stay with us.
Attention all wordsmiths and storytellers. Are you ready to elevate your literary game? Introducing Review Multimedia Limited's editorial services, the one-stop destination for all your writing needs. Are you wrestling with writer's block or time constraints? Fear not. Our team of expert ghostwriters is here to breathe life into your ideas, crafting compelling stories that resonate with your audience. Editing and proofreading precision is our forte. We polish your prose until the sparkles, ensuring every word shines on the page. But that's not all. Need your spoken words captured in text? Our audio-to-text transcription services will transform your voice into written brilliance. And for those seeking a voice that stands out, explore our voice work services, jingles that linger, audiobooks that captivate, commercials that sell, and documentaries that tell tales beyond imagination. Authors, get ready for the spotlight. Our PR experts will launch your book, grant you interviews and promos on the Writer's Blog radio and TV platforms, all tailored to make your book a sensation. Contact Review Multimedia Limited today, 0552 535 036 or 0208 428 322. Email reviewmultimediagh@gmail.com. Visit our website www.reviewmultimediagh.com. Remember, every story deserves to be a masterpiece. We can make that happen. Review Multimedia Limited, dreams come alive.
welcome back. This is the Writer's Blog Talk Show, and as always, we have a quote for the day, and I'm picking it from this all-important book by our guest today, and I'm picking it. It says, "The truth is this: a romantic relationship that is based only on spontaneity and feelings is a house built on flimsy foundations, which will soon be blown over by storms. However, a relationship in which the couple is deliberate about building a foundation of agreement and leveling of their expectations on some fundamental issues provide a solid base for exploring all manner of spontaneous romantic activities." I'm just excited about this. Let me just read the last part again. However, a relationship in which the couple is deliberate about building a foundation of agreement and leveling of the expectations on some fundamental issues provide a solid base for exploring all manner of spontaneous romantic activities. Is a long quote from this awesome book. Let me tell you just a little about our guest for today. Modupe Ehirim, the founder of and lead counselor at the Right Fit Marriage Academy, works with men and women to become persons that their spouses look forward to coming home to. Using the Right Fit Marriage program, Modupe guides young professionals to intentionally design and build healthy and long-lasting marriages. She is a certified SYMBIS, which is Save Your Marriage Before It Starts facilitator. The SYMBIS assessment gives you a personalized roadmap to making your marriage everything it was meant to be. She is a certified family systems engineering practitioner. The network of FSE practitioners comprises professionals who work to restore dignity to human relations in marriage and other aspects as well. Well, she is a graduate with first-class honors in chemical engineering from the University of Ife, which is now Obafemi Awolowo University, in 1980. Were you born then? I'm sure she'll correct me with some of these ones. She then worked with the Central Bank of Nigeria, building and engineering services for 17 years before setting up a specialty retail bookstore business, which she operated for 13 years. And on it goes about this great woman. She created the completely online Get Yourself Ready for Marriage 12-week group coaching program to prepare single men and women for healthy marriages and equip them to make wise partner choices. Well, she is the author of not just this book, Marriage is Not a Trap, but also 30 Reasons Why Couples Quarrel About Money and Couples Connect, a workbook for accessing and enhancing your marriage. Good afternoon to you, Mommy Mo. Can you hear us? Hello, good afternoon, Mommy Mo.
Okay, good afternoon, Vicky. Good to be with you.
Yes, good. So good to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, and I'm very excited to connect with your Ghanaian audience.
Yeah. But how did it come about? Why Mommy Mo? What is the secret behind that unique name?
Actually, in Africa, young people tend to look for older people that they can look up to. So when I created my Facebook group, the Right Fit Marriage Academy, in 2016, in the beginning, everybody related with me as just another person off Facebook. But as they soon found out that I was very much older than them, they did not feel comfortable referring to me as Modupe as I wanted to be referred to. So they started to call me Mommy Mo. I was a little resistant because I also feel that people should use the words when they mean it. Since I was not mom to them, I didn't feel comfortable being addressed as Mommy Mo. But with time, it came to be my brand name. So Mo is from my first name, and everybody calls me Mommy Mo.
Nice. So Mommy Mo is coming all the way from Nigeria, and we are blessed to have you. But Mommy Mo, why did you decide to write on this subject? What is the inspiration behind this one?
Fantastic question, Vicky. You know, I am now married 38 years, and from around around 2011, 2012, I was talking with young people, and it surprised me that there were many things that they didn't know about life and they didn't know about marriage. Then I volunteered in church to do marital counseling, for young people, which meant that they came to counseling about 8 weeks to 6 weeks before their wedding, because of course the church says you must go to marital counseling or we will not wed you. Yeah. And the curriculum my church was using was 14 weeks, so 14 hours. I was spending 14 hours along with other trained people. And it just was a surprise to us how, to be honest, how little people knew about this decision that they had made. Because when you decide to marry, you have made a decision that is going to affect some 50 years of your life. But many people were making that decision, not even realizing the implication of it, one. And then two, not also fully understanding all that has contributed to them being who they were at the point of entry into marriage, and how much impact that will have on how things will unfold. So, as I tried to understand this and talk with people, I also saw that many young people were afraid of getting married because they didn't want to discuss the subject, either because of what they have seen with their parents or what they have read in the media, and they just were doing. In fact, the word they were using for me is that, Mommy Mo, why should anyone want to get married? So I went online and I just did a search and said, what are the things that couples have the challenges the most about? What are the things that cause misunderstanding? And I went through probably about 100 articles. And these 10 issues that I talked about in this book were the chief things that were the issue. But it's not just that they were the chief things that were the issue. The reality also was that people were coming with different expectations on this issue. And there was never, for most people, there is never a point in which to start down to level expectations and determine whether they were harmony, they had harmony in the fundamental issue. Okay. So they just want themselves to go, and they really think that they're going to do life together, and then they start the journey. And when they start living together, so as a trial, I took this 10 topics and we discussed it in my Facebook community. And I was just astounded because again and again, the young people who were married were saying to me, wow, nobody ever looked at me with them. Nobody ever told me. I wish I had known this before I got married. So out of that conversation is what this book came out for. And the title, when you look at it, why does a rat end up in a trap? There is no rat that wakes up in the morning and says, today I'm going to walk straight into the trap and be caught. There is no rat that says it. However, the rat goes out saying, I'm hungry, I need to get food. And then the rat becomes so focused on the food that it no longer pays attention to its surroundings. And when the aroma of the food gets sneezed, it follows the aroma, gets into it, and then the trap closes it. That's right. And it's the same thing with marriage. Nobody ever wants to go into a problematic or toxic marriage. However, everybody is just focused on getting the love of their life, the person who will make them feel good, like you said in the quote. So there is no intentionality surrounding the journey, the process of choosing the person that you're going to spend your life with. And then when you follow the desires and what you want without paying attention, before you know it, you find yourself married, the door closes, and life is miserable for you.
And you're trapped, sort of. This is really, really awesome indeed. The book is just about 92 pages, about 5 chapters, and the book cover is awesome. She's already talked about that, so we won't go into it. But chapter 1 is expectations. Chapter 2, managing expectations. Chapter 3, marital roles. Chapter 4, money, issues about money. Chapter 5, religion and beliefs. Chapter 6, children. 7, sex. 8, location. 9, family obligations. 10, cultural similarities and differences. 11, resolving conflicts and differences. Chapter 12, tips for holding difficult conversations. 13, 14 are more tips on holding difficult conversations. And I think yesterday on the iMDrive here on Sunny, I'll share with Baba how that chapter is something else. And then 15 is final words. The good news is that listeners and viewers on our Facebook handle, also on Zoom, is that this book also comes together with an audiobook and a workbook. It's a complete manual that you can always work with. Mama Mo, I want us to start discussing chapter 1, which is expectations. We'll merge it together with chapter 2. And lots of people have different mindsets and expectations before marriage. If you don't mind, just indulge me. Let's play about 5 minutes of the audio introduction for expectations.
Chapter 1, Expectations. Emeka and Ngozi are traveling to Owerri for the funeral of her friend's father. Emeka thinks it's a good idea to stop in the village to see his parents. So he suggests to Ngozi that she takes an additional 2 days off from work. Ngozi agrees. When they are done at the funeral, they move over to Emeka's village. His parents are quite happy to see them, and it was a meaningful reunion. As they get into bed on their first night in the village, Ngozi turns to Emeka and says, "Sweetheart, let's take a drive to see my parents tomorrow and spend the day with them." Emeka replies, "We can't do that, so my dad mentioned that there is a matter which has caused problems amongst the kindred. The Umunna are meeting to discuss it tomorrow. Since I'm home, I want to attend that meeting." Ngozi turns away, eyes beginning to mist with tears, and pretends to go to sleep. But she's unhappy and is thinking, we've seen his parents. Why is he placing such a low priority on a visit with my parents? They conclude their visit with Emeka's parents and return to Lagos. Emeka senses that Ngozi isn't happy, but he can't place his finger on the reason why. Expectations. An expectation is a strong belief that something will certainly happen. Ngozi was certain that since they were visiting Emeka's parents, a visit to her own parents was on Emeka's mind. That was an expectation which she did not communicate to him. Every relationship involves expectations. This rings true for relationships on the home front, at the office, at the church, or even in the neighborhood.
Wonderful. Expectations in marriage or in any given relationship. Mami Mo, what is expectation? And when we talk about it in the married context, what do we mean?
Okay then. Expectations is very simple. It's something that, I'm thinking in my mind, this is something that will certainly happen. So, like I shared in the story, we come into marriage and we're just thinking, this is my understanding of marriage. a husband should behave in this way, a wife should behave in this way, decisions should be made in this way, and all kinds of things. Now, the thing for us, there's clear expectations. But the reality is that what are expectations for me are not necessarily expectations for the person that I have married. Why? We have different origins, we have different life experiences, we have different life exposure, we have different nurture. Some 50, 80, 100 years ago, if you wanted to marry, chances are that you'd be marrying somebody from your neighborhood, or somebody from your village, or somebody from a community that you're familiar with. So it means that when you marry somebody at that time, there is not too much gap in your expectations. Why? If you look at your granddad and your grandmom, their grandparents and parents knew one another, they grew in the same community, perspectives on life were the same, and so on and so forth. So expectations were always there. It was felt that when people marry, or when people do business together, or when people do anything together, because they were coming from similar background, because their exposure to life and experiences were similar, then their expectations were ab initio harmonized, especially on really important issues. But in today's world, and I always ask the couples I work with in marriage preparation this question: where were you born? Where did you go to school? Where did you go to university? Where have you been living since you graduated from work? University. It is possible that even the person whose compound is next to your own in your village, which means in the past you would have been people who had harmonized expectations, could be a total stranger to you just by reason of them having a different life experience from you today. So typically in today's world, you have somebody who has left their parents, and has become independent. But in the traditional roles, when we're looking at who to marry, the investigations will be made: who are his parents, who are his family.
Yeah.
Now this person has lived away from their family for 3 years. They've interacted with other people, there's the internet, there's books, there's satellite TV. So what it means is that our expectations currently, they're known to us. And when I say they're known to us, but we're usually unconscious of it. And we come into relationships assuming that our partner, especially if they have public labels that make them to look like people we're familiar with. What do I mean by that? So if I'm a Yoruba woman and the Yoruba people are a tribe in Nigeria, and I meet a Yoruba man, instinctively I feel that I know him. Why? Because he's a Yoruba person.
Okay.
And I know, I know the things about Yoruba people. But the thing is that this person, are they truly a Yoruba person? So I know a young lady, for example, she's a Yoruba woman. She has mixed, she's an Igbo woman. She has mixed parentage. Her father is Igbo, her mother is Yoruba. She went to school in Yoruba land. She has since been living abroad. When we look at her, who is she? What are the public labels no longer define her? And so she has expectations, things that she's thinking, this is the way people should behave, this is the way things should be done. But she's not conscious. It's just something that she has grown up with and assumes that everybody else around her has. So she meets a young man, and he looks at her and she's thinking, oh, this young woman is a Nigerian. She has parentage from Nigeria. Therefore, this is who she is. So he too makes a lot of assumptions. Depending on where he's coming from, he too has expectations. However, because we're not aware of these things, because we think that we're still living 50 years ago, what we actually do, instead of discussing our expectations, is look for the public labels that we can use to interpret. So we're thinking, is she Christian or Muslim? Does she speak English or French? is she educated or not? We instead of actually saying, this is me, this is what I want, who are you? What do you want? How can we then talk together and say, can we meet in some middle place that will enable us to build a relationship? So we keep using this public label. Sometimes we feel comfortable and find that we get into trouble. At other times we don't feel comfortable and we keep looking and looking. But our expectations are really the things that are driving us. And an expectation, I say again, is something that you are absolutely sure will happen. So if you're thinking of marriage, you've got to realize that you already have some expectations, a definition of marriage, a definition of how people should do in marriage, a definition of how your in-laws will be. But how conscious are you about them? And how aware are you that they are not casting concrete? They're just a reflection of your journey through life upon you.
This is awesome. Here you talked about perspective, just like you've mentioned, marital roles, money, religion and belief, children, sex, location, family obligation, cultural similarities and differences, resolving conflicts and differences, and so much more. Now, are there some tips that you can give us when it comes to managing these expectations in marriage? Because you've made us aware that it is unconscious and it's not just the general label that we can use, but our journey through life really, shapes us and also shapes our expectations. So if I'm getting into marriage or I find myself in marriage, how do I manage some of these expectations?
Okay, so in the family systems engineering circles, of which I am a part, especially for us Africans, one of the things that we think that everybody ought to do is create their own user manual. What is a user manual? If you go to buy a device now, it usually will come with a user manual and it will tell you how that thing was made, what it was made from, how you should use it, and so on and so forth. So essentially, for a user manual, what you need to do is ask yourself questions. Who am I? Where am I coming from? So if you're from a certain tribe, you ask yourself, what does my tribe believe? Why do they believe it? Are there people in this world who don't believe that way? Is their life necessarily worth for it? The reason that you're doing that is because you want to check the beliefs that you have acquired from your environment to define, are they sacrosanct beliefs that must not be touched, or are they just the beliefs that your own people have acquired over time? You do that for your family, you do that for your tribe, you do that for your family, you do that about all of the general beliefs that you have. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you've got to realize that because your partner, and this is for those who are already married, because your partner has not journeyed through life and recording in progress, the first thing that you want to remind yourself always when there is difference of opinion or difference of expectation is that if I grew up in this person's home, if I grew up in this person's community, would I be thinking the way that I'm thinking now? That helps you to see in your partner's shoes, and instead of just disagreeing with them, you realize that, okay, I need to understand this person some more. So let me give you a practical illustration from Nigeria. In the Yoruba culture, we're very big on respect. Even when you look at our language, there is a pronoun, there are pronouns for older people. So as soon as you know that somebody is older than you, there are pronouns for older people. We genuflect, the girls kneel. Anybody who is a Yoruba person or who grew up around Yoruba people understands that all of those things are needed for you to demonstrate to an older person that you respect them. Now, move over to the east of Nigeria. In the east of Nigeria, if a young person meets an older person, they may stretch out their hands to shake them. Now, the person from the east of Nigeria really is not meaning to disrespect anybody. It's just that is the accepted way of greeting. Now, if a young man is dating, if a young man from the East is dating a Yoruba woman and visits her home and does not use the appropriate way of, showing respect simply because they're ignorant of it, the parents of the girl may be thinking, who is this disrespectful person that my daughter is wanting to get married to? And the guy who even be aware that is being offensive to them, not because he doesn't want to respect them, but because that's not the practice where he's coming from. And so when couples, whether already married or those who are still, dating one another, when they recognize this, anytime there is conflict between them, especially in their expectations, they need to understand that he may not even be my partner who I'm having conflict with. It may be my upbringing, my life experiences, my life exposure, our culture and tradition. Those are the things that are actually in conflict. And so, can we step back and look at it as that, and then say to ourselves that, okay, for the vision we have of our life together, how should we address this clash of conflict? So the book, Marriage is Not a Trap, what I sought to do in it is to give the reader a template, one, for understanding expectations in chapters 1 and 2, and then looking at all of these 10 significant issues, in the remaining chapters. And then the last 3 chapters close with offering guidance on how, when you come to this situation where, your opinions are very different, your perspectives are very different, and you now find that you want to go forward together, how should you have those conversations? Those are the things that the last 3 chapters actually cover. And the hope is that if people use the workbook, so a single person who is not yet in a relationship can get the book and walk through it, and so that means that they begin to know themselves, and by the time they would meet somebody who they want to date, they even before dating the person, just by interacting with them, they can know whether this person is a good fit for them or not. A good fit for you. Somebody don't mean a bad person. It just means they're not a good fit for you. So if we take religion belief, for example, most people look at religion as, you think about money. It affects how you parent. It affects how you relate with your family of origin. It affects the kind of work that you can choose to, so on and so forth. And so when I meet people who say, we have decided that we'll be going to our separate houses of worship, well, that looks like they have solved the problem. But when they get together, they're going to find themselves in great conflict, because when they move into the areas where religion defines how you do, they would find out that they're not unified. So immediately you meet if you go through this process and you know yourself well, when you meet someone who is not sharing the same religious belief with you, you're going to be thinking, how is our life together going to be? And if your interaction with them shows you that both of you are so committed and determined, and the things you want to do about religion are set in concrete, it may well be good to go apart before chemistry testing.
This is truly, truly awesome. In the book, you talked about how expectations must be expressed. You talked about how expectations must be realistic. You also spoke about how expectations may need to be negotiated. And like you're saying, if really I don't know myself, if I don't know who I am, if I don't know my actual expectations and where it's actually derived from, I won't be able to become or see myself as compatible with my partner. It is the Writer's Blog Talk Show right here on Sunny 88.7. We are also live on Zoom. We are here with Mami Mo. She is Modupe Ehum. an amazing woman, and then she is a counselor as well. And her book, as we are discussing now, is Marriage is Not a Trap. 10 discussions every man and woman must absolutely have if they want their marriage to last forever. Another exciting thing really about this book that I love is the action points. It's like a plan. You get to evaluate what you have read and make some notes. And at some portions, she always comes back to say, have you gone for your notebook? Are you making notes out of this one? Well, we want to go for a quick break, about 2 minutes, as we talk about our upcoming All Boys, All Girls Symposium. And then when we are back, we'll dive into 1 or 2 issues: money and dealing with family obligations. Right here on the Writer's Blog Talk Show. Please stay with us.
The Writers Blog presents the All Boys, All Girls and Parenting Symposium 2024. Each year, we carefully select well-equipped resource persons who empower attendees with tools to support healthy development, promote gender equality, and enhance parenting skills. Topical issues for discussion this year include parental development, emotional intelligence, social skills, gender-specific issues, and modern-day parenting. Theme: Empowered Minds, Empowered Futures. Date: Wednesday, 1st May 2024. It's a holiday. The time is 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Venue: La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. Age range starts from 5 to 16 years, and the rate is 150 Ghana cedis for children and 100 Ghana cedis for adults. Family packages are available. There will be lunch and other fun bonding activities. To register, call, text, or WhatsApp this number: 0552 535 036. This event is powered by Reveal Multimedia Limited, La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Challenge Enterprises of Ghana, and our media partner is Sunny 88.7 FM. Good news for everyone. The Writers Blog Talk Show is now on podcast. Listen to engaging book discussions and reviews. Discover authors behind amazing books. Find the right book to read. Listen now on your preferred podcast platform: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Pocket Cast, Overcast, and Google Podcasts. Follow the Writers Blog on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Writers Blog GH. On YouTube, The Writers Blog Talk Show. Send us an email at thewritersbloggh@gmail.com or give us a call on 0552 535 036 or 0208 428 322. The Writers Blog. Read, write, indulge your mind.
Welcome back. This is the Writers Blog Talk Show right here on Sunny 88.7. We are live on our Facebook handle at Writers Blog GH, also on our YouTube handle, the Writers Blog Talk Show, and we are live on Zoom. If you are part of our community, what it means is that you have the link at this point in time. I'm here with Mani Mo. We are discussing from her book, Marriage is Not a Trap. We've talked about expectations and how to manage it, because it's really integral, sort of foundation when it comes to relationship. But Mani Mo, it is said that for the African, we are raised by a village, and so it's not just me, my husband, and my children. There is the extended family factor. How do I manage the extended family structure, including in-laws, cousins, and all of that?
Okay. That's a really great question that you've asked, Vicky. Again, it boils down to expectations. So in today's world, younger people have been exposed to different models of marriage, and so we look at marriage more often like something that is just between a man and his wife and his children. And that is okay. However, the man didn't drop from the sky. The woman didn't drop from the sky. You know, and one of the very interesting things about this work that I do is that contrary to what many people think that in-law drama is an African thing, it actually is everywhere. And the reason it is everywhere is because no human being dropped from heaven onto earth and produce fight on their own. So it's pretty important number one, to say the family that I am coming from, how do they define marriage and family? And by that, I'm not meaning the general definition of husband, wife, no, man, woman, no. I'm meaning, so as you grew up, how did your family relate? Were they people who related in nuclear units, or were they people who related, as group? Do you want to continue the practice, or do you want to do things differently? If you're going to do things differently, how would it impact them? So let me give you a quick illustration. If someone comes to me and says, mommy, no, I'm dating this lady, she's a couple of years older than me and her, we are okay. Usually I say to them, I'm glad that you have sorted all of that out. However, how are you going to cope with the reaction of your community to the fact that you are marrying an older person? And then they'll say, oh, it's not their business, as long as I'm happy. I said, well, I'm glad that you are happy, but whether you like it or not, if you go visit your parents and your auntie comes in and she's suspicious that, because this person is older than you, then lording it over you and your wife have to deal with that. If you go to her family and her family is thinking this young man is trying to smooch off our daughter or sister, you have got to deal with that. If she has friends her age and you're going to be interacting with them, they are not your wife, they are your wife's friends. You are still a young man to them. If they treat you like a young man, are you going to feel disrespected? And there are all these things, all being part of a community show us. And so the first thing is for you to even understand what are my own expectations about how a family and the extended community should interact. And if you're stepping out from what is the practice that your community is known for, then you've got to ask yourself, how am I going to manage the expectations of my community people? So when you have a deep understanding of what, then you will now be dating somebody. And usually I say to people, no matter how much you love somebody, you've got to ask yourself, are you comfortable with their family? And are they willing to work with you? As much as we wish that love will cover everything. You know that quote you said at the beginning? That's why I said it. If you iron out all of these issues in the beginning, I come from an intercultural marriage, a tribal marriage, for example. One of the things I had to do 39, 40 years ago was to say to myself, if I become an Igbo wife, what does that mean for me? What am I going to be able to do, which my in-laws expect me? What are things they need to know up front that even if they expect it of me, I cannot meet those expectations? And my husband and I, we talked extensively about it before we agreed to marry. So, what role does our community play? It doesn't mean that, we have to take everything they say whole, but at the same time, we can't say we won't have anything to do with them. For me, I think the challenges with in-law relationships is not so much that those are in-law, that the problems are there. They're just symptomatic of the fact that people don't pay attention to the things that they need to pay attention to. So I am now a mother-in-law twice. And as a mother-in-law, navigating it is tough because I'm thinking, what are the expectations of my daughter-in-law? I might want to embrace her. Does she want to be embraced?
That's right.
I might think she should have this responsibility. But when I look at her mom and the home she's coming from, was she exposed to such responsibilities? And so after I became a mother-in-law myself, I even became more conscious because I realized, in fact, there are times without number that I'll say, wow, I now see the reason why there's stress between mothers-in-law and daughters-in-law, or sons-in-law too, for that matter. Because I am a practitioner, and because I have worked with a lot of people, I'm more conscious. But that when I share these experiences with some of my friends who are not practitioners, many of them have told me that they're really delighted that I'm sharing this thing because it's giving them understanding. When my first child was marrying, I actually had to do a series in my Facebook group, my journey to becoming a mother-in-law, because all of a sudden, I saw that I had the capacity to be a class mother-in-law. This care was not taken because I was just looking at life from my own perspective. And the more that I started, okay, now we're getting it. Okay, now we're seeing it. We have to be proactive. We have to think. So, for people who are not yet married, or for people who are young in marriage, I want them to step back. And that's what the book encourages. You know, the chapter on dealing with extended family obligations. You know, to okay. Number one, as my partner onboarded me properly into his or our family. In fact, myself, do I have an onboarding process? Because my partner did not grow up in my home, did not grow up in my community, and my community, I didn't grow up in his own community, so we do need to work on it. I think social media has not helped, and this is what I mean. It is good to tell the stories of people who get it wrong. But the thing is, the way social media is, when people read one bad story, they publicize it and they roll it over and roll it over and roll it over. All of a sudden, are now believing that the bad stories are the only stories that there are. But in the course of my work, I do meet many people who have great relationships with their parents-in-law on both sides. And the root of it is what I have said, a willingness to stand in the other person's shoes and to say, okay, if they're making this demand of me, are they being malicious or is it just that we are different? And lastly, in in-law issues also is poverty is a great contributor.
How?
What I mean by that is if money is short, and you marry somebody who a family considers
rich,
the provider, and when you then come into their life, and both of you don't have an understanding of what is required to meet your, what I call your basic survival needs, then what happens is that because you don't have that understanding, you're quarreling with one another, and when you're quarreling with one another, the demands are being made from outside, and each of you is trying to meet those demands without a full understanding of the implications of meeting it. So it looks as if it is the wife who does not want the man to support his family, or it is the husband who does not want the wife to support her family, and there is just a lot of confusion. But essentially, it's not so much confusion, it's limited resources to meet basic survival needs, not luxuries now, basic survival needs. And that's the reason why finance is one of the things that the couple really need to get. The discussion on finance is not, should we have joint account or not? No. It's more a, what is our basic survival needs? What is the fund that is required for it? How will we get the funds that we're going to do on a consistent basis? Will we be able to accommodate our family? If we can't accommodate them, what are we willing to commit to? When all of these things have been discussed and both couples onboard one another into their families, then chances for the kind of huge conflicts that we see happening will be reduced.
I just feel that we need about 1 hour extra to dissect this book fully, because I am so blessed. My producer here, she's paying rapt attention when something is happening and is wrong, guys. She's not seeing it because she's she's into it. But Mommy Mo, this is really awesome. Even the fact about the fact that it's not really about having a joint account or, you know, disseminating money in a certain way, but really the basic amenities in the things that the daily stuff we do, how do we fund it? And you find more of this in this particular book. Mommy Mo, where can we get copies? How much is it going for? And all those details, if you can share with us.
Okay, right now for the folks who are in Ghana, they can get the e-book and the audio book from our Seller store.
Okay.
The Seller is an online platform where you can pay and have the resources delivered to you right. CRFMA.seller, SELAR.co. CRFMA.SELAR.co. If you go on there, you will see the audio version, you will see the ebook version. In a short while, the print version will get to Ghana. If you are in Nigeria, you actually can get the print version right away. You can also pay for it on Seller. However, I don't have print copies yet in Ghana. We're already making the arrangement to get in Ghana.
Wonderful. But maybe we should talk briefly, just about 2 minutes, just before we wrap up, about the Right Fit Marriage Academy and how people can be a part of it, what you do holistically.
Okay, then. The Right Fit Marriage Academy is a community, online and offline. We have a Facebook group. There is about 20,000 members there. It is an ask to join group, so it's not an open group. When you go onto Facebook and you look for the Right Fit Marriage Academy, you see the page, you see the group, ask to join. Even if you click there today, just by scrolling through, there are conversations and resources that we have put there since May 15, 2016. So every month we have an event, and we have about 40 of those events curated in that group. Generally, what we try to do is provide what we call marriage education, help people to understand that. But you can also follow me on Instagram. But I think what I'd like to talk more about is that we have a 12-week group coaching program. Get yourself ready for marriage. And all of the things that I've shared with you, okay, maybe people who are not equipped from home and in school to understand all of these things. And so what can we help people to do so that they don't keep making this relationship mistakes, especially the single people? And so there is a 12-week program that people can go to. Again, on the Seller store, you will see the link to it. CRFMA.SELAR.co. That's the name of the store. So the Right Fit Marriage Academy is largely about marriage. We're not looking for who is doing wrong. We're looking for how can men and women, old and young, come together to arrest the breakdown of marriage and family in our community. This way that a village in the old times would have come together to resolve the issue. That's what the Right Marriage Academy is all about.
Wonderful. And we have all the links in the chat box right on Zoom. We'll also share it on our Facebook page in just a bit. But Mommy Mo, time is up. I am so blessed. I know our listeners have been so blessed. We have quite a number of questions here. Maybe we should have a part 2 sometime. Just Zoom, I'm thinking, so that we can have as many people that can join in on there. But we are so grateful. You can reach out to Mommy Mo, email rightfitmarriage@gmail.com. Check out her website, www.rightfitmarriage.com. On Facebook, you can find her at Modupe Ehirim, EHIRIM. Modupe is MODUPE. On Facebook, the Right Fit Marriage Academy as well. Instagram is the Right Fit Marriage. LinkedIn is Modupe Ehirim. And of course on Twitter is Modupe_Ehirim. Thank you so much, Mommy Mo, for passing through the Writers Blog Talk Show. I'm sure we'll have you again back here sometime soon. Thank you once again. And thank you, dear listener.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, dear listener, for also joining in. Today we are done for the day. Thank you for being a part of it. But our All Boys, All Girls Symposium is coming up. If you want to be a part, please reach out to us 0552 535036. I'm Vicky Amwa. We say the writer's blog. Read, write, indulge your mind. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Writer's Blog Talk Show on this channel. The book review show is designed with you and your child in mind. For enquiries about how you can sponsor, partner, advertise, or have your book reviewed on the show, call or send an SMS, Telegram, or WhatsApp message to +233 552 535 036 or +233 208 428 322, or send an email to writersbloggh@gmail.com. Follow us on social media: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, podcast at Writers Blog GH or The Writers Blog Talk Show. Visit our website www.thewritersbloggh.com. This program is powered by Review Multimedia Limited. Join us next time for another